Hey friends, sorry I don't have the mooses with me to talk to Abe Lincoln. All right, so there's a couple schemes that they're working on right now, but every authoritarian regime in history has restricted firearms. Okay, whether they rewrite firearms policy into a new constitution that they are planning on writing and implementing, or they make amendments to the current constitution or rewrite the Second Amendment, you can be assured that they will have restrictions based off of gender identity and other sorts of policies. Now, how are they going to do this? They're not going to say it outright. They still, part of their culture is deniability. Part of their survival technique as an ideology is deniability. All right, so it's probably going to write something like every man can have a firearm, right? But then in practice, they're going to say a couple of things, right? And this is something that has already been in their rhetoric. So I promise you I'm not making this shit up. Just go look at conservative boards, okay? They're going to go after LGBT for sure, all right? And the way they're going to do that is by declaring that a mental illness. They've been saying this for decades right now. And there are already policies in place, so they don't even have to rewrite the Constitution to say that people with mental illnesses cannot have firearms. And of course, when they lump LGBT into that category, then they will effectively remove the legality of firearms from those people, right? The same goes for ideology, okay? They've said this exact phrase. You can search it. Liberalism is a mental illness, okay? Leftism is a mental illness, all right? The same way, they will also justify removing firearms from the opposition ideologies. Okay? And just like they're doing now with every other policy, instead of being passive about it, like the Democrats like to be typically, they don't go sending people door to door. I envision them sending them, at the very least, letters saying, like, you should rescind your firearm, right? To the point of, I firmly believe that they're willing to go to houses and take firearms from people. All right? Getting into other categories, other demographics, okay? The immigrant thing is obviously going to be a big threat, okay? Whether legal or otherwise, they're going to carve out exceptions to make sure every immigrant is liable to have their firearms taken away for one reason or another, okay? Even with the whole birthright thing or naturalized citizens, okay, their ability to remove your current citizenship or threaten that or put you into a deliberate second class of citizenry, all of that is on the table. And that will mean, hey, if you commit some kind of like minor traffic offense, that could be what snowballs into, hey, we're removing firearms from your possession, all right? That will include going after people for their skin color. And they do not have to succeed in court in proving that you have violated any of these new laws or policies, okay? The attack itself on you, right? The challenge to your legitimacy is the plan. This is how they do it now, right? The challenge to your legitimacy is what's going to justify removing the firearm from you, and then you're going to have to fight tooth and nail in order to get access to firearms back. Does that make sense? So those are just a very like small, or a very limited amount of techniques that they can implement and that they have already tried to implement in the past. There are so many ways to expand the language to include other demographics or people who have done other things. For example, women that have had abortions in the past, right? And when in doubt, remember that conservatism, as whoever that guy was put it so plainly, creates laws that bind, I'm paraphrasing here, creates laws that bind but do not protect an outgroup and protect but do not bind an in-group. So even if things are explicitly written into law, when you face the judge, right, that judge's ideology and allegiance to this administration is going to tell you all you need to know about how likely it is you get to keep your firearms if your firearms ownership or any other right of yours is challenged. Lincoln.